Everyone. So
Hello.
guys,
Hello,
so this
Abhishek.
is our masterclass on performance testing. I think most of you are from the tech background. I hope you all understand. If not performance testing, then definitely about the software testing, right? So I'll quickly go through like what all things. I'll give you a brief context, right, about growtech minds, about what we do. So we started growtech minds in the year 2022. It's been around 2.5 years, and we cover courses around software testing, software development, digital marketing, right? So there are a couple of courses as in manual testing, automation testing through Java Selenium or Python Selenium. Performance testing is another course provided by us. Then there's a digital marketing course that is provided by us. Then there's an API automation with Rest Assured. ISTQB certification courses also we provide. And the main USP of Growtech Minds is ISO certifications are done, real-time projects are given, right? Then mock interview preparations are done for everyone, right? For each and every candidate, mock interview preparations are done. I think if you just even if you go on YouTube, you'll find like lot many videos, right, of our existing students. Then resume preparation assistance is provided by Growtech Minds, and then we also provide 100% placement assistance to all our candidates. And then we also help our candidates with the internship
त्यांनी कंपनी
experiences.
उघडली त्यांनी जॉब सोडून दिला
So this is
याची
about
कंपनी
a
हा आणि
short,
हा हेच
okay. This is a short brief about Growtech Minds and what we do. Going next, uh, I think I'll pass it on to Rajaraman, so who will be taking it further and covering the entire detailed aspects about the performance testing. Raja, over to you.
Thank you, Abhishek. Fine. So, hello everyone. I hope you are well and welcome you all for this webinar session. I'm
Thank
very
you.
happy to thank you. I'm very happy to see you all guys. And let me just see your faces once. I'll just a minute. I'll take the host.
Should I close my screen share, Raja?
Abhishek, can you please make me host and then stop sharing?
I think you are the host already. 1 minute. अच्छा ठीक है. Yeah, done, Raja.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful guys. So I'm in the gallery mode so that I can see you all guys. And I'm very glad that you chose to spend this 1 hour, with us. I'm basically based in Chennai, and there's a cyclone called as Fengal blasting through near my city, and until 6:35 p.m. there was no power. So we were in a dilemma because you guys are. I don't want to spoil. We don't want to spoil your curiosity, and I hope among this all struggle, if something needs to be done, it will definitely be done. In a positive note, we'll start away. So my name is Raja Raman. From 2018, I've been associated with different organizations and institutions, namely a Spanish MNC and also one of the leading automobile manufacturers in India. Currently, I'm working as an estate. Basically, I'm from a non-technical background, and the switch over to IT was a challenge. And there's a long way to go, and I feel that it has been very rewarding, and hope it will be rewarding in the upcoming years also. And just a second, I want for our to make our webinar crisp. I'm not allowing you guys to mute yourself. So whatever conversation we have, whatever you want to say, please put it in chat. We have a separate Q&A session, and we'll definitely discuss all the topics in our, whatever the doubts you have in the Q&A session, make a note of it, and then you can ask, okay, towards the end of a session. So let me start by asking, um, I know that we are into performance testing seminar. Obviously, you might be from from IT background, from manual testing, from automation testing background. But is there anyone who is not from the tech background? Maybe a college fresher, or you're trying to switch over to the IT industry? Okay, I see a one hands up. Yeah, hello Deepika. So it's fine. It's fine. Very good. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Very good, very good. And it's wonderful. I know having the basics of testing, if you ask me, for a performance tester, it's essential. We have to understand testing first, but uh, it's not a big we can do it parallelly. Even if you don't know anything, I have students who are fresh out of college, who started to learn performance testing, and side by side they also learn the testing process. So this is fine. It's awesome. It's awesome. And for all the others, I hope this session provides you some valuable content. Okay, very good, guys. Now let me share my screen. We'll start right away. Okay. I hope my screen is visible. Okay, let me. Okay, guys. Okay, fine. Okay, what we are going to see in this webinar. So we'll basically understand what is performance testing and why it is necessary. There are a lot of tools to performance testing. Every day a tool comes out in the market. So even with now recently with AI tools, with AI dominating the tech industry, there are a lot of startups finding their own niche and sending out the performance testing tools. And here we have a wide scope. We can do a lot of things in a webinar, but I have come up with a small plan so that we get something out of this. And we have a Q&A session, obviously, towards the end of our session. And towards the end of after the Q&A, before the Q&A session, there will be a special discounts only for our courses in Growtech Minds, only to the participants. It starts from only now, starts from today. A special discount for our participants, and also there will be a participation certificate. Okay, fine. This is just the structure of our webinar. Going right away into performance testing. Before we see what is performance testing, I can see few came fresh into testing, and there are most of you would have come from manual testing as well as automation testing background. So it is okay if you don't know the basics of testing. It is fine. It's not a big thing. You can learn, no issues. Now coming to the performance testing, we have two types of testing widely, which is called as functional testing and non-functional testing. There are two types of testing, whatever the testing you do. Testing is one of the important part of a software development process. If someone wants to create a software without a quality analysis team, our software is prone to failure. It's the history, people, the history repeats itself, and a lot of companies, because of their, one second, guys. Okay. One second. What is it? And organizations need testing. So there are two types of testing widely. One is functional testing and one is non-functional testing. So what is functional testing? Functional testing means we are testing the logic of the application. Let's say I want to log into facebook.com. I want to log into netflix.com. I want to log into amazon.in. With my valid credentials, I should be able to log in. Checking that comes under functional testing. It might be API testing, it might be manual testing, it might be automation testing. Everything comes under functional testing. We have functional testing, and another major category is non-functional testing. So when it comes to non-functional testing, it's a wide concept. It's a wide area. If you are into non-functional testing, you might have some basic idea about it. I'll ask you a question. In functional testing, we can say like there are integration testing, unit testing. We have our what we can say. We have regression testing. We can name few. We can name a few, and that list is not extensive. But when it comes to non-functional testing, you wouldn't believe the number of tests out there. Just to pique your curiosity, I'll ask this question to all my batches. So I am asking you also. How many types of non-functional testing do you think there are in the market? There are different types of non-functional testing. Among the wide variety of non-functional testing, performance testing is just one. Can you guess the number, guys? Can you guess the number of how many non-functional testing there might be available in the market? Please put it on the chat. Okay, 15 to 20, that is good. Okay, any other guesses? I would like you to please participate. And, if it is possible, I understand that you might be in a situation you cannot open the camera, but if you can, I would kindly request you to please be on camera. Okay, it'll be, you'll have an extra layer of caution, extra layer of attention towards what we learn. Okay, please be on camera if it is possible. Fine. Okay, we have wonderful guesses, 7, 80, and 5, 25, 25. Oh, wonderful guys, 10, 10, 15, amazing. See, this is awesome. So when it comes to non-functional testing, it somewhere ranges. Currently, people are using somewhere around 60 to 100 non-functional testing. But there is no limit for non-functional testing. When it comes to non-functional testing, the scope is literally boundless. We can create our own non-functional testing for our organization and even for a particular project. So the non-functional scope is boundless, and around 60 to 100 non-functional testings, you can namely find it in the internet, what kind of non-functional testing people are using. Among those tests, we are going to see about performance testing. So when it comes to performance testing, there's a difference between performance testing and all the testing we know, automation, manual, API testing. The main difference is being that in functional testing, like manual, automation, API, we check the correctness of the application. What do? We check the correctness. Correctness in the sense, we check if it is logically correct, which means if I'm able to log in with my username and password. But when it comes to performance testing, I know that for this set of 10 users, with this particular credential, they will be able to log in. I'm checking what will happen to my application if 10 users try to log in simultaneously. Okay. By performance testing, we are evaluating how our application will respond if 10 people from 10 different parts of the world try to log in simultaneously. We call that concurrency. Okay. That is the difference between performance testing and performance testing, a part of non-functional testing and functional testing. Most of the non-functional testing, we do it after functional testing because an application has to be logically correct. If it is logically correct, it makes sense when we do non-functional testing because we are going to repeat it. We are going to multiply it. We are going to exponentially send request for which we know which is already correct. Okay. So when it comes to performance testing, it is the logic versus we are checking the performance of the application when multiple users are trying to access it. Okay. So what is, if you want to define performance testing, we can say that performance testing measures performance criterias. What are those performance criterias? Performance criterias, where is it? Yeah. Performance criterias are nothing but the metrics, which means how fast our application is, how fast is our application? How many users can log into our application at the same point of time? What is the data transfer rate? Okay. These kind of things comes under metrics. This kind of thing comes under metrics, and by performance testing, we are evaluating that. By functional testing, since you are new into performance testing, just to create a relation between that, functional testing, we check the logic, whereas in performance testing, we check how fast our application is, how responsive our application is. Okay, that is the difference. That is how we define performance testing. We measure performance criteria, in other words, performance metrics. Okay, here we have performance metrics are also called as KPIs. You might have heard this KPIs in different context of industries, but in performance testing also it's the same thing. It's key performance indicators. The KPIs of performance testing, we call it as metrics. Okay, fine. And you might be working in different, I can see your almost 91 participants are there. You might be working in wide array of organizations. Do you think all your organizations are doing performance testing? I don't think so, because performance testing is done on the nature of application. Depending upon the application, the performance testing is carried out. Okay, it mainly focuses on what type of application, what the application is supposed to do. Okay, fine. And then when it comes to performance testing, we have something called what we'll do is we are going to simulate. What are we going to simulate? If I have a machine with me, if a machine in the sense I have a laptop, or if I have an access to a server, I'm sending the request through a server, which means I'm a single person. I'm sending a request to my laptop. If I want to log into Google, if I want to search, go to the Google's homepage, it's a single person trying to hit google.com. When it comes to performance testing, there are performance testing tools which allow us to create virtual users, which are nothing but simulated users. With a single machine, I can send thousands of requests. I can send lakhs of requests with a single machine. With a single laptop or a single pod PC or a single server, I can send thousands of individual users. I can also simulate thousands of users coming from different parts of the world. That is also possible. That is the beauty of performance testing. And performance testing always should be interpreted after the functional testing. Okay. And is performance testing necessary? We saw what is performance testing. Is it necessary? When someone says no, you can argue that it is yes. So why performance testing is necessary? Every business, it boils down to user satisfaction, guys. How an it might be a business to business application or a business to customer application, how it caters them. Okay, how it caters them. So the user satisfaction is closely related to performance testing. User satisfaction is very closely related to performance testing. You have, just imagine, for ordering food, how many apps you have. You have Swiggy. If you are from a different part of the world, you might have other many other applications as well, just to perform a single operation. To order food in India, we have Swiggy, we have Zomato, we have all sorts of we have all sorts of applications, quick e-commerce applications and food delivery applications too. When we have a lot of choices, the organization, the application has to be responsive, has to satisfy the users. That's where performance testing comes into play. In real scenarios, millions of users try to order food from a single application, and application should be able to handle that. So user satisfaction is very much important. By guaranteeing user satisfaction, what we are trying to do, we are validating the infrastructure of the application. Infrastructure means there's a front end, which is the application we are using. There's a back end, and the backend has the logic. If we are trying to locate a restaurant, we are able to locate a restaurant because the backend, the logic is present in the backend. And we have something called as database. Our username and password, where it is stored. Millions of users are trying to log in. How is the application able to differentiate between them? We have databases, and the database segregates and stores the data. So by performance testing, we can validate the infrastructure, the front end, the database, as well as the back end. And also with performance testing, we can identify the issues which might happen if multiple users are trying to use an application even before the application is being live. If an application is being live, multiple users come into picture. Before the application is live, how can we simulate thousands and lakhs of users? Only with the help of performance testing tools. Okay. And finally, the main reason performance testing is necessary is when you scale an application, which means when your application needs to grow, if you are expecting more number of users, or if you are servicing to a client, if the client requires us to develop an application which requires to handle multiple users, there comes compliance. Compliance in the sense legal compliance. There's something called as SLAs, which are called as service level agreements. Using SLAs or service level agreements, if you are not matching up to the agreement, the client is liable to sue us. Let's say we should create an application which can handle 100 users at an instance. Our application should be able to handle 100 users at an instance. If you are not able to deliver that kind of application to the clients, they are legally bound to sue us. Okay. For that issues, performance testing can identify exactly how our application is performing under simulated load, and we can predict how it will perform under real production environment. Okay, and in real scenario. Okay, this is why performance testing is necessary, guys. So all this, we saw what is performance testing, why it is needed, and how are we going to do that? There are a lot of tools out there. We have LoadRunner, which was initially by HP. Now a company called as Micro Focus owns it. We have Gatling, Gatling. It's a part. It actually initiated as an open source application. It has a premium version too. And we have BlazeMeter. BlazeMeter is a wonderful performance testing application, but it's a premium application. And we have something called as Locust and NeoLoad. And the tool we'll be covering as a part of our course is part of our webinar as well, is something called as JMeter. JMeter was built by Apache Foundation, and the JMeter's age is more than 20 years old, which means it has gone upon revisions to make it, a wonderful tool to rely on. So we'll be focusing on JMeter for our session as well as our course. So this JMeter, Apache JMeter, is an open source application. By open source, it means it is not just free, guys. It provides freedom for utilization. We don't have to pay any fees, even for commercial usage. Even for commercial usage, even for personal usage, even for customizing the application, we don't have to pay anything. Okay. I'll ask you a question. Okay. So, one of the most popular browser ever made, okay, which is called as Google Chrome. Is Google Chrome an open source software? Okay. In the chat, you can just respond. Is Google Chrome an open source software? Okay, I have yes, I have yes, I have no, yes, yes. Okay, some no and yes. Okay, a lot of S's. Wonderful, wonderful, guys. It might come to a shock to you. Wonderful, wonderful, guys. It might come to a shock to you that Google Chrome is not an open source software. Google Chrome is not an open source software. It's a free software. If you see that, the license is a freeware. Freeware in the sense it's free to use, but we cannot modify it. We can use extensions, but we cannot modify the software. There are some softwares like VLC Media Player. There are some softwares like our JMeter, and like operating systems like Ubuntu. They are open source software. Linux distros, they're all open. Linux is an open source operating system. These softwares don't need any kind of licensing fee or any kind of legal agreement to modify it. You might ask, what is the purpose of it? It's almost in 90s and 80s, it became very popular, the concept of open source testing. And one of the main advantages, it fosters development of softwares, development of, when an application is open source, a lot of people can base on an open source application and develop it. So coming back to Google Chrome is not an open source software, but there's a browser called as Chromium. It is same as Google Chrome, but it will be like a blue color symbol. Yeah, it'll be like this blue color symbol. It's an open source software. It is also developed by Chrome. You can take this browser and do whatever you want. Okay, you can build your own project upon this browser. This is also developed by Alphabet only, Google. Okay, fine. That is about the open source. And we have, when it comes to JMeter, we have extensive reporting, and we can do a lot of analysis through JMeter. In JMeter, we can simulate real world scenarios. Okay, real world scenarios, which means in a single machine, I can simulate, as we discussed, thousands of users to a server. Okay, so whatever we discuss when it comes to testing, it's a dance between a request and a response. Whatever testing you take, it might be API testing, it may be manual testing, it might be an automation testing, it might be performance testing. Whatever testing, it is a dance between a request and a response. Somewhere a client is sending a request, somewhere a server is giving the response. Okay. In performance testing also, we understand the difference between client and server, and we try to modify, we try to manipulate the request to receive a response. Okay. So there are a lot of tools like we discussed, and JMeter is also a wonderful tool. And on comparing to other paid tools, JMeter is on par. okay, is on par. It has all sort of necessary features. There are certain features which are only available in the premium softwares like BlazeMeter, and but for our in a regular sense, we'll do more. If you want to use BlazeMeter, we'll do 90% of the work with JMeter, and we can also purchase BlazeMeter, and we can perform 10% of the operation using BlazeMeter if we are required. So JMeter is wonderful. Okay, fine, guys. Okay, we saw what is performance testing and how it is important, and also we saw that the tools, different types of tools, and why what tool we are going to use, which is called as JMeter. We'll see some case studies. The first case study is, do you remember that CrowdStrike incident, guys? Okay, I want to see if you if you really face this issue in your laptop, in your organization. Can you please ping in a chat, say yes or no? Oh, see, that's wonderful. Yeah, wonderful, guys. Very good, very good, very good, very good. And this outage cost almost 23 billion US dollars in revenue. Can you imagine the magnitude of the price? And it affected nearly 8.5 million devices. An impact of this magnitude, it was mainly because of an update CrowdStrike released to the Windows devices. The magnitude, I'm very sure that the magnitude of this impact, this technical failure for an organization, they were only able to recover from it because of a non-functional testing. Mainly because of a non-functional testing. In non-functional testing, we have something called as recovery testing. Okay, using performance testing, recovery testing, all sorts of necessary tools of non-functional testing, we can implement strategies. We can mitigate the risks. We can handle the risks. Okay, so the testers, performance testers, different non-functional testers out there in Microsoft, in CrowdStrike, they have the risk, they have did their performance test, they have did their performance of the application, how it performed, how it recovers from failure. We have recovery testing, and because of that only they are able to mitigate from such a failure like this. Okay, the next case study is, have you heard, you might have definitely experienced, I have seen memes and I have seen videos when a Samsung S7 Note, Samsung Note 7 was launched. There were a lot of battery issues. People say that the phone caught on fire. And Samsung issued a statement, it is partly because of the software and hardware failure. The hardware failure, the hardware of a physical device, it's not up to us, it's not up to us. But software, when the software utilizes a lot of resources, there's a failure in the quality. The quality, the tech team, the quality team has not run proper tests to identify it. Okay, because of that, Samsung faced nearly $5 billion US dollars in revenue. Why did this happen? Because they missed out on the performance. They missed out on some of the non-functional testing, which evaluates the mobile phone's usage with the battery's heating capacity. Okay, so this is one of the using performance testing, we can identify some bottlenecks. Like we have something called as client-side metrics and server-side metrics. Using this metrics, we'll be able to evaluate what is happening on both sides of the application. Okay, this is one of the case study here, and there's not a single instance. There are multiple instances of Facebook being down, and one of the famous instances is about on 2019, and because of the hardware issue, server side issue. I told you before, a few seconds I told you that there are two types of metrics. One is client side and one is server side. Because of some server configuration, which can be identified using performance testing. By performance testing, we can also identify server side configuration issues. And because of the server side configuration issues, Facebook lost nearly 65 million in revenue. Can you imagine, why we are seeing this case study is, I want you to form a connection between how close performance testing is to the organization itself. If there's an issue with the functional aspect of software, we can give hot fixes. But what if the application's performance, like a server side issue, occurs? Can you imagine the damage it caused to the company? So that's why performance testing is very important, guys. Okay, companies, usually startups, even though they don't do performance testing initially, they'll definitely go for performance testing as they scale up. Okay, another another when we say about cost, this is the case study we have to keep in mind. When it comes, there's a website called as healthcare.gov, and people in United States, for their insurance, for their claims, they'll use this website. And in 2013, the website was down, and because of that, people faced a lot of hardships. The main thing for us is, for the organization or for the government, is the government spent nearly $2 billion US to repair it, to recover from the failure, to make the application sensible, to make the application work well again. Okay, can you see the cost involved in application doing not not able to do proper performance testing? It can also apply to our it's an universal thing. When we start in our college, or when the results come in our +1 +2 results or HSC results, have you faced that as soon as the results come, the server all will be crashed? We'll get 5x SRS because that is the server's capacity, or that is the budget they have. I don't know what I don't know the main reason. It's because that is also a case study. And regarding our Tatkal tickets, have you tried to book Tatkal tickets on Diwali times? If you are able to book a Tatkal ticket, it's like winning a lottery. So those are some examples where we have to make sure that our application caters to the desired users. But and we have one more case study where, if you see that recently, Facebook is an application where we can watch movies. They are not live streamed. The movies are in the server, and we'll be able to watch the movies. But around 2023, Netflix tried to live stream their events. There's a show called as Love is Blind, and in that show, there was a 90-minute delay between the show and the live stream, which is supposed to happen on Netflix. In the same way, few weeks ago, there was a famous boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. And that match also, Netflix users were frustrated because of a lot of buffering issues. Okay? All this is because, even though they have done a lot of performance testing, non-functional testing on their side, it failed somewhere. And because of the performance testing they have already done, because of the non-functional testing they have already done, they're able to recover from it. What I want to say is, even though the failure occurs, if we are in a position where we do performance testing and non-functional testing, we'll be a key asset to an organization to help the organization recover from the failure. Okay, what is one of the important principle of software testing, guys? No software can be bug free, right? Okay, do you agree to that? Okay, fine. Okay, fine. And this is our last case study. Famous, one of the greatest of all times, Messi, Ronaldo. And we have our Ronaldo, and he started a new YouTube channel. And within 24 hours, he was able to gather around 10 million subscribers. This 10 million subscribers, can you imagine an application trying to handle 10 million applications? Millions of applications are trying to subscribe to Ronaldo's YouTube channel, and the YouTube application should be designed in such a way that it should handle them. So the organization has done performance testing. They have made sure that they have simulated millions of users, and they have evaluated that our software will be capable of that. That's why YouTube was able to handle this. This is a perfect example of performance testing, guys. Since YouTube did performance testing, YouTube was very confident that even a famous celebrity like Ronaldo coming to play, and within one day, even if he's able to make 10 million subscribers, still the application is working fine. Okay, that is how performance testing is important when an application scales, and for this scenarios. Okay, is performance testing, it's a wonderful field. Okay, guys. And when it comes to applications like e-commerce, health, and finance, performance testers are in high demand. And I have a lot of students who started out as manual testers and shifted to. I have a student who started out as manual tester and shifted to performance testing and took our course. So it's a thing where nowadays it's gaining a lot of popularity, and a lot of career opportunities are there. The growth has been consistent. There are a lot of growth in performance testing compared to the previous years. As the application scale, as the application grows, definitely performance testers are on demand. And what does this performance testing? What will it give? If you learn performance testing, how to do that, you'll be able to be in a position to identify and resolve issues which are relating to uh, performance of an application, which could not be identified and solved using functional testing. Okay, that is one of the key point. And then we have our reliability. How can we make our application reliable and efficient? That is also one of the critical skill set. You have to imbibe in yourself. You have to have it in yourself as we move along as a performance system. Okay, I told you that among hundreds of non-functional testing, performance testing is just a single test. Under performance testing, we have all these tests. These are all wonderful tests. Okay, guys. A lot of tests. It has different scenarios. It caters different audience. It caters different types of application. For our webinar, one second. For our webinar, we'll focus on the first point, which is our load test. There are a lot of load tests out there. There are a lot of testing tools out there. Among those, load test is the most popular one. Even in a small scale application, they tend to do load testing. So we'll jump to a demo session. This is for the a small introduction on how important performance testing is. We'll directly jump to our demo session, and then we'll see how we can do a load test. Okay, fine. I know you might have, if you have a lot of if you have questions, please jot it down. No, please jot it down, and we'll definitely answer the questions. Okay. So for installing JMeter, you can go to your search engine and type JMeter download. If you search for JMeter download, the first link you'll get from Apache apache.org. In that, we have something called as download releases. From download releases, you have to click in this download releases, and you'll be taken to this page. In this page, you have two options. One is binaries and one is source. So we have, you have to click on this binary section. You'll be able to download a zip folder, and that zip folder, if you extract it, is nothing but JMeter. JMeter is not like any other Windows application which we have to install it. Okay, I'll share you the link also here in our Zoom chat so that you can try it. Okay, I have put it in our Zoom chat. You can download this binary. You can take screenshot also if you want. You can use this as click this zip folder. It will get downloaded. Once you extract it, it will be in this way. Once you extract it, you'll get this folder called as Apache JMeter 5.6.3. This is the latest version. After you click on this folder, you'll have a lot of folders. Among the folders, you have to select the bin, a bin folder. Okay. From the bin folder, you have an executable jar file or .jar file, .jar. Okay, it's a Java executable file. It will be and the Java symbol will be present there. It's called as Apache JMeter jar. Before installing JMeter, you have to make sure that Java is installed in your system. You press your Windows button and type CMD. Okay, type CMD will open your command prompt. After you type it, you have to type Java -version. I have the 21st version of Java, Java 21.04. If Java is not installed in your system, please install Java, okay? Because JMeter is an application which require a programming language called as Java, which require the libraries present in Java to execute. Please install Java. Once you install Java, you'll be able to open this JMeter. If I double click on this Apache JMeter.jar, I'll get this window. this black color, gray color screen. Earlier, the black mode, the dark mode was not there. It was only light. If you see in most of the YouTube videos or any other Udemy courses, you'll see a lot of white screens out there. So that is an older version. This is the latest version of a JMeter. Even if you are working in JMeter for 5-10 years, or the JMeter's UI is just this. This is the basic welcome screen of a JMeter. So this is the tool. This is the tool by which we send a request. For example, if I want to go to google.com, I can type in my address bar google.com and I'll be able to navigate to google.com. In JMeter also, I can simulate the same thing. For that, let's see how to do that, okay? What we'll do is, this is a JMeter. This is the when you open JMeter, you'll definitely get this. And then you have in the left side, you have something called as test plan. Okay, left side, I'm trying to give you a very simple request. Okay, you right click on your test plan and then add, and then thread, and then thread group. Okay, this is the first step. You have to add something called as thread group. From what we have discussed in the past few minutes, JMeter or performance testing is used to simulate multiple users. Okay, for simulating multiple users, this software called as JMeter provides a lot of options. So we'll streamline and we'll cherry pick selective components, and I'll explain to you what it is. Okay, you have to right click on your test plan, add thread users and thread group. My suggestion is that if you have a piece of paper and pen, please make a note of it. Or if you're taking digital notes, please make a note of it. Okay, you right click on your test plan, add threads, and you'll get this thread group. You select this thread group option. With this help of this thread group option, we can simulate thousands of users. We can simulate hundreds of users with this particular component called as thread group. Okay, this thread group is used to simulate multiple users. Now, what are we simulating? I told you that for every testing, it's a dance between request and response. So for request, we need something. In JMeter, you right click on the thread group, add, and go to something called a sampler, and select this option called as HTTP request. Okay, you can take a screenshot. Please make a note of it too. We right click on a test plan, added a thread group. We right click on a thread group and added something called as HTTP request. Add sampler HTTP request. Okay, this is done. So we saw that this thread group can simulate multiple users. What does this HTTP request do? This HTTP request is nothing but by which we send our request. Let's say in my address bar, I type google.com. In JMeter, how can I send the request? JMeter is also trying to send the request only. We are able to, we can send the request using a component called as HTTP request. In this HTTP request, if you, it will be by default in the basic tab. You go to this basic tab, in the protocol, okay, instead what we'll do, you go to your browser, you click on the address bar. Can you see that HTTPS is present? And then www.google.com is present. What you do, you copy, select all, copy, and then you paste it here. Okay, you paste it here, and then you remove this HTTPS and paste it in the protocol. We are segregating the URL. First we are splitting the protocol, and then this www.google.com is fine. And whatever we have after the .com, that is our path parameters. Okay, that is our path parameters and query parameters. If we have, we put the path here. We are separating the URL and we are pasting it here. HTTPS, google.com, and the path here. Now what we have done, we have set up something in JMeter to send a request. We have added something called a thread group to send virtual users, and we have set something called a sampler to send request. We have sent the request in our browser. If I'm pressing google.com and hitting my enter button, google.com's homepage is coming to me. If I type Grotech Minds, I am able to see some search results. This, I'm able to see the search results because this is the response I'm receiving. I'm sending the request in this address bar or in the search bar, and the request is being translated into response, and I'm receiving the response through my browser. In JMeter also, we have something to visualize the response that is called as listeners. Okay, to add listeners, what we have to do, you right click on the thread group, add something called as listeners, and there are a lot of listeners out there, lot of things to visualize the responses. From this, we can choose anyone we want. This is our basic listener, which is called as view result string. Okay, right click on a thread group, then go to listener, and then view result string. Okay, this is the very, very basic script of sending a request and receiving a response. Now what I'll do, I have to, after adding some, after having our thread group to define the load, after having our HTTP request, which is nothing but our sampler to send request, after having our listener to visualize the response, we have to name it semantically. Okay, can someone tell me what is semantically in the chat, please? Semantic, I'll post it in the chat. Okay, it is called as SEMANTICL, semantic. What is semantic, guys? It's not Semitic, it's semantic. Anti-Semitic, it's a different scenario. Okay. What is semantic, guys? Any idea? Oh, sorry. Okay. I have not shared the link. Oh, my bad. 1 second, guys. I'll send it to everyone. Semantic. Okay. Can you see a word called as semantic? Do you know what it means? Any idea? Okay, no issues. So what semantic is a meaningful naming of words. Okay, semantic means meaningful naming of words. Semantic means it's how where is, it's a study of linguistic meaning of words. Okay, how we name a particular components. In JMeter, we have okay, 1 second. Okay, in JMeter, we have lot of components. These are called as elements in JMeter. We have something to send request. We have something to send request. We have this. We have something to visualize the response. We have something to define the load, and all this has to be named meaningfully. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to go to google.com so that I'll name my request like Google homepage. Okay, and then in listener, something I'm going to see it, right? You can name something like uh, Google. Let's say if you're adding I can add multiple requests. Okay, we'll see that. In the thread group also, I can name something at Google. Fine. So I have defined request, how we can visualize it. And coming back to the thread group is how we define the load, how we can simulate users. We can simulate users with the help of these 3 text boxes. Okay. Here, can you see the first option is number of threads or users. If I put here 100, oh, what happened? Oh, 1 second, guys. If I put here 100, which means JMeter understands that I want to simulate 100 users hitting the server. If I put here 100, Google server, if I put here 100 and run the test, Google server will be hit 100 times. Okay, we are simulating 100 different users. And we have something called as ramp up time. Ramp up time means how long should JMeter take to send 100 requests. If I put here 60, which means in 60 seconds, JMeter will divvy up the 100. For example, if I put here 60 for easy calculation, if we have 60 users and I put here 60, for every second, in 60 seconds, 60 users should be sent, which means for every second, one user will be sent to the, one request will be sent to the Google server, okay? When it comes to performance testing, it's the request and response. So in this thread group, we are defining defining how many users should send the request. We have defined 60 users should send the request in 60 seconds, which means every user should take 1 second. If I put here 10, every second, 6 users will be sent. 10 into 6, 60. Got it, guys? So we have ramp up period, we have number of threads. If I put here 1, in a single second, JMeter will try to send 60 users, 60 requests to the google.com. Request in the sense, if I am typing here Google and pressing enter, this is a single request. In the same way, JMeter is if this is the request we are sending, JMeter will try to send the same request which we have done by it will try to simulate the same request with 60 different users, which means Google server will receive 60 requests and Google server will cater to the 60 request. Okay, fine. This is how we define load. For our demo, we'll have with only one user, and one user will be sent in 1 second. And the next thing we have is something called as loop count. Loop count means how many times it should repeat. If I put here one user, who will be sent in 1 second, and if I put here 1, the iteration, how many times it should iterate. If I put here 100, the same user, if Ishan wants to send a request, the same user will be sent 100 times. But if I put 1, we can configure in such a way that 100 different users will be sent once. Nothing will be repeated. Okay, that is the difference between the thread group and the loop count. Okay, for our sake, we'll have 1, 1, and 1. So it's always recommended that you have a thread group, you have a request to be sent with the help of sampler, you have the response to be visualized with the help of listeners, and you have something, you have to save it first. Okay. So I have in my desktop a folder for our webinar. Okay, I'll save it in our we are going to save the test plan. What we have done is we have created a test plan. This is a test plan. This is a very basic test plan. And in this test plan, we are going to save it. We are going to name it. What is the test plan? This test plan is Google Home. Google Home.jmx. This JMX is the file by which we store the test script. What is the file? What we have docx, right? For saving a Word document, we have XLXX, we have PPTX, we have different file formats. In the same way, the software called as JMeter has a specific format called as .jmx. Using that .jmx, we'll be able to save our test plan. Okay, I'll save our test plan. This is Google Home, and I'm saving it. Done. After saving it, can you see this green color button? If you click this green color button, in this pink color icon, which we call it as listeners, we got a response. Okay, we have these 2 buttons. This is for clearing out. If I click this button, it will clear all the responses we have got. If I click this green color button, I have sent it 2 times. If I click this green color button, since I have only one user and I'm sending it in 1 second and I'm only sending it once, so I got only one response. If I put here 2, will I get 2 responses? I'll send 2 requests and I got 2 responses. In the same way, here I have iterated with a single user. If I put here 10 and 1, 10 different users will send the request. 10 different users will send the request only one time. So this is the thing. All our, we spend so much time in figuring out the concept and understand the software. As we progress along, as we practice, we'll definitely come to know the nook and cranny and the configurations of how to send customized request, how to receive the desired response. Okay, fine. For this request, what is my request? My request is google.com. If you go to this listener view results tree and click on any one of the items in the left pane, you'll have a lot of tabs here. If you go to the request tab, you will see what we are trying to access. We are trying to access google.com. And then we have something called as headers. Headers in the sense, here we have something called as user agent. This user agent will tell Google that from which device I am sending the request. Am I sending through a browser? Is JMeter a browser? No. JMeter is not a browser. JMeter is a tool by which we send a request, and with the help of this user agent, Google server will be able to identify where the request is coming from. Okay, in few moments, I'll show you a end-to-end scenario. In that, please focus on this. Remember this user agent, that the user agent will be different. Okay, that the user agent will be different because we'll try to record from a browser. Here, I'm creating a test script in JMeter. That's why we have our user agent as Apache HTTP client based on Java 21. If you remember, few minutes ago, I showed you my Java version is 21, right? It is nothing but this Java version, which means JMeter uses my Java version to send the request to the Google server, and it has received the response. How can I see the response? We have a tab called as response data. We have a tab called as response data. In that response data, we have a HTML document. This HTML document is nothing but the HTML document which is required to make this Google see how it is. Okay, if I right click on this document and if I click this inspect button, okay, if I right click and click inspect button, there will be a lot of tabs. In that tab, one of the tab is called as elements. In that elements, if you are automation testing, if you are into manual testing or API testing, you might be familiar with the network tab as well as elements tab. Fine. We have this HTML document. This HTML document is the same document we are seeing here. Okay, this is the same document we are seeing here. I'll show you one more thing if it is visible. Just okay. Can you see what is happening here, guys? Whatever the HTML document, JMeter has interpreted into visual response. Okay, we are sending a request and we are receiving a response from the browser. We have also simulated that with JMeter. Okay, fine. This is a basic request. This is how we define a load. We have given a load of 10 users. If I put here 1000, we have given a load of 1000 users, a very basic load. Okay. And this is our listener. By listener, we'll be able to visualize what is the response we have received. This is the very basic instance of a test script. Okay. We have to remember, we define a load, we send a request, and we visualize a response. Define a load, send a request, visualize a response. Done. Okay. If you have any doubts regarding this, please make a note of it. We'll definitely address it in our Q&A session. Okay. Okay. Now, there are some applications. Okay. For example, if you have let's say you're owner of an application, you're owner of a social media, if you are the CEO of a social media application, will you entertain unwanted traffic? Will you entertain simulated traffic? I would not, because I want my system resources to be utilized to my real users. By JMeter, I'm going to, here I have simulated 10 users in JMeter, which means I'm trying to send a request. I'm simulating 10 users sending request. Certain websites will not allow that. Okay. So for that, for performance testing, for learning performance testing, we have a lot of demo websites which are dedicated, which are there for the sole purpose of us to learn performance testing. So what we'll do is, I'll show you a beautiful, I use this this demo website extensively. It's for us to learn. It's a wonderful website. It's called as blazedemo.com. If you see that, if you see any tutorial or anywhere, any courses, people use this website a lot. This website is developed with the help of another performance testing tool called as BlazeMeter, but we can use it. There are no restrictions to it. Okay, this is a website, blazedemo.com. It is a demo website. It simulates a user trying to book a flight ticket. Okay, a user trying to book a flight ticket. For example, if a user wants to go from Boston to London, if a user wants to go to Boston to London, and if we click the find flights button, there will be a list of flights, okay, different airlines, Virgin America, United Airlines, Aer Lingus, a lot of them. If we select a flight, it will ask the details. We can enter our first name, last name, all details we can enter. And once we click this purchase button, it will ask you that thank you for purchase. It's an end-to-end scenario where we are simulating how a flight booking is made, a simple flight booking is made. So now what we are going to do is we'll try to capture this request and response happening between the browser. If you're not able to get what I'm trying to say, this is my blazermo.com. I'll right click and go to inspect. This inspect will give us a plethora of developer tools. Okay. From this inspect, we have a lot of tabs. As manual testers, or no, not manual testers, as automation testers, you'll be familiar with this elements tab. But as performance testers, this is our go-to tab called as network. Okay. I'm going to filter my specific request. Okay. If I click refresh button, can you see something? This blazedemo.com is the request the browser has sent. The browser has sent a request, and this is the response received by the browser. This is the request the browser has sent, blazedemo.com, and browser has received the response. If I click here, let's say Philadelphia to London, this button is to clear all the logs. From Philadelphia to London, if I click find flights, can you see another request has been made from the browser? This request is being made to the browser, blazedemo.com, with some data. What is the data? We are trying to book a ticket from Philadelphia to London. This is a request which is sent by the browser. We are able to see that request with the help of this network tab, and this is the response that has been received. We call this as network sniffing tools. Okay, we call this as network sniffing tools. So this is a network sniffing tool. For translating this into JMeter, we have to copy paste all sort of things. We have to copy paste the payload. We have to copy paste the headers and all sort of things into the JMeter. But JMeter has a specialized option called as recorder. Okay, JMeter has a specialized option called as recorder. By using recorder, we can capture whatever we do in the browser. It cuts our time to create our test scripts by half. Okay, I'll show you how to do that. Fine. So I'll create a new script. Okay, this white color button is for creating a new script. Now, what we'll do, right click, add thread group. Okay, right click, add thread users thread group. And then I'll add something called as, where is it? Okay, I'll add something called as controller. Controller is like a folder. We saw a request, right? HTTP request for sending google.com. We can create multiple requests. We can organize the request into folders called as controllers. Okay, controllers are nothing but folders in which we put specific requests. We can add a controller called as recording controller. This controller has a specific feature by which it'll be easier for us to record stuff. We are going to record in the sense we are going to capture the traffic, capture the interaction between the browser and the client. Fine. We have our test plan. This is how we define the load. We have our recording controller. The next thing is you have to right click on this test plan. In JMeter, every right click is different. If I right click on a test plan, going on add, I can see an option called as non-test elements at the bottom. If I right click on a recording controller, add, I will not get that option. Can you see non-test element is not present? Because JMeter's right click is context based. So I right click on a test plan, add, and then I'm going to, non-test elements and something called as HTTP test script recorder. Test plan, right click on it, add, non-test element, HTTP test script recorder. Okay. This is an element. This is a tool in JMeter by which we can record whatever is happening in the browser. We don't have to create in the previous script, what we have done, we have right clicked, we have added a sampler, and then we have manually typed google.com and we send a request. All this can be done automatically with the help of this tool called as test script recorder. We'll see how to do that. Okay. Before test script recorder, we don't have enough, we have to understand something called as proxy port certification, but I'll tell you what it is. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. JMeter is a third-party tool. Okay, in your Zoom chat, can you please tell me what is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? What does this S stands for? You have any idea? Please put it in the chat, guys. Wonderful. Very good, guys. What is it S stands for? S stands for secured, which means there are two parties involved. Only these two parties can see what they are sending and what is receiving. If I'm sending a request from browser, my browser is able to send a request, and my server is able to send a response. Only two parties are involved. Now, uh, okay, fine. So now what we are trying to do, we are going to introduce JMeter. We have a request, we have a response. Google Chrome is going to send a request. Google server is going to send a response. In between the request and response, we are going to have something called as JMeter. To have JMeter in between a request and response, we need to tell the browser that please trust JMeter. Okay, we are going to tell that please trust JMeter. How can we do that? We'll see that. I'm going to use a browser called as Firefox, okay? Because here the setup is easy when compared to Chrome. We can use Chrome, we'll definitely use Chrome, but there's a longer setup process. That's why I've choose Firefox. You go to Firefox, click on this 3 button. Where is it? Click on this hamburger button and go to settings. In your Firefox, after you go to settings, the first thing you have to do is called as type for certificate. Okay, you type for certificate, and the first option you'll get is called as view certificates. Okay, I hope you're making a note of it. I want you to try it towards the end of the webinar. I want you guys to try it and post it in our WhatsApp group. Okay, that is the only sole perspective we have going certain things. I don't know if other webinars will have this details, but this is fine. This is very simple detail, but I'm telling you because the ultimate objective of this for you to try at least once. Yeah, fine, and for you to get the taste of it too. You search for certificate and click view certificate. After you search for view certificate, you'll have lot of options. Here I have already JMeter certificate installed. You know what? I'll delete this so that I can show you from scratch. Your Firefox certificate manager will look like this. What you have to do is you have to click this import button. Okay, you click this import button. It will navigate. It will take you to anywhere you want. I don't know where it will take. It will take to somewhere. Since I have already installed it, it might also take me to a desktop. So what we have to do is we have to find the folder where JMeter is installed. In the sense, we downloaded a zip file. We extracted that zip file. We have to go to that zip file. We have to go to the zip file. And if you go to the zip file and just a moment, guys. Okay. Okay. We have to go to the zip file, and then after Apache JMeter bin folder, you have this file called as Apache JMeter temporary root. Okay. If you click on this file and open, it will open this window. You can click this, trust this CA to identify websites. After checking this, you have to click OK and then OK. That's it. Now you have told the Firefox that trust JMeter, point number 1. And then what else? If you are not able to see this certificate, you go to your JMeter and then click the start button. Once you click the start button, a pop-up will open and the certificate will be created. If it is not created, by doing this action, the certificate will be created. You stop this. I'll show you what it is. Fine. We have a click certificate, and then we have something called as proxy. Proxy is in between. Proxy sits in between the client and proxy is like telling our browser to take diversion. We are telling our browser to take diversion and send the data to JMeter. We are trying to capture the data by setting up something called as manual proxy. We are redirecting the data between the browser and the server. HTTPS is secured. By introducing JMeter, we are putting something in between the request and response to capture the traffic. Okay, we have this manual. It will be by default. It will be no proxy. You have to set manual proxy configuration, and here you have to type localhost. Localhost is nothing but our current IP address. You can also type your IP address. It will also work. Okay, and then you have to select this 8888 option. This is the default port for JMeter. You can also name it differently, but you have to make sure that you have a port option here in HTTP test script recorder. This number should match with this number. Okay, we have our local host, and then we have the port number. Also, you have it will not be checked by default. You have to check this option called as also use this for HTTPS. Okay, okay. We are running out of time. We'll try to finish this quickly. Just be patient with me. Fine. What we have done, we have set up certificate, we have set up proxy. Now let's try to capture whatever it's happening in the browser. Okay. So what I'll do, I have to you go to this HTTP test script recorder, and I have to specify where to send the responses. I'm going to capture something. Where should I send it? Here I'm telling that use recording controller. There are a lot of options, and there's an option called as recording controller. Recording controller is nothing but the recording controller we have created. Okay, I'm telling that, and I'm clicking this start button. After I click this start button, I'll get this pop-up. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to my Firefox, and I'm going to search for, okay, before searching for, you can, it is an optional, but it's good for naming. I can put BZ home. Okay, you just have to type it. You just have to type the transaction name in the pop-up, and after typing it, you go to your browser and type blazedemo.com and press enter button. Okay, okay. Since the certificate is new, it's because of my antivirus. You won't get this option most probably. Okay, now this is the blazedemo home, and then just because there was some, it asked for some request. It has captured lot of request. It has captured lot of request. What I'm going to do, I'll clear this request, and before that I have to do one thing, guys. What will happen is the request, JMeter will send lot of requests, wide variety of requests. JMeter will capture lot of requests. We have an option to filter those requests, unwanted requests. You go to this test script recorder, and you have an option called as request filtering. In this request filtering, click on add suggested excludes. After clicking on add, these are some common unnecessary files which are not necessary for us. JMeter will exclude that. Okay, and then you click your start button. After clicking your start button, go to your browser. The transaction name is Blaze Home. Okay, and let's say I want to travel from Boston to Dublin. I'm clicking on find flights. This page has opened. Now I have to name this phrase, list of flights. Okay, and I have named it. I'm going to perform an operation. Let's say I want to choose Lufthansa. After choosing Lufthansa, this is my purchase page. In the purchase page, let me put my name, any address, and any town, state, zip code, and it can be an American Express card. It can be any card number. I'm giving some random data, a month, a year, and let the name of the kid be Raj. I'm going to click my purchase flights. I have done an end-to-end scenario. After doing that, I'm going to click this stop button. You click the start button, come to JMeter. There are some requests. Did we create any of this request, guys? JMeter captured this request. If you see that here, blazedemo.com reserve, we tried to send a request between Boston and Dublin. We tried, and also this is the Lufthansa airline we chose. And finally, this is the confirmation. My name, my address, my city, my state, everything got captured into JMeter. After capturing it, what we have to do? we have created a test script essentially. This is the basic way of creating. Upon this, we have lot of other elements and components out of it. So what we first saw how to create a simple test script, and this is how we create an end-to-end test script. Okay, we create an end-to-end test script. We can also save this and let us name it as Blaze end-to-end. Okay, end-to-end. I'm saving it. Thread is used to define a load, and then we have something called as listener to visualize the response. If I click here view results tree and then run it, I'll be able to see 3 requests. This is the request I have sent. I want to book from Boston to Dublin. I want to purchase a Lufthansa flight. This is the details, my name, my details and everything. This is the request I'm sending. This is the response I'm getting. This is the response I'm getting. This is for one users. What we'll do is I'm going to simulate 100 users. The ramp up period is 10 seconds. And I'm going to keep the loop count as infinite. Okay, this is a wide thing. Right click, add listeners, and we have something called a summary report. This is a listener. I want to show you how JMeter sends the request. If you see my thread group, I'm sending 100 users in a 10-second period of time for infinite loops. Or I can also put it like for 5 seconds, I'm sending 100 users. If we go to a listener called a summary report, in the first column, you will be seeing the number of requests being sent. If you see that, I started my test, only 10 seconds has gone by. Can you see I have sent 1,000 requests, guys? Can you see the power of this tool? We can simulate 1,000 requests. We can simulate 10,000 requests by using a simple configuration. Okay. Since I have clicked this infinite option, it's continuously running. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is a small end-to-end scenario where within 33 seconds, in the right top, if you see 33 seconds, we have simulated nearly 6,000 requests. 6,000 requests has been sent to Blaze server, and that Blaze server has also catered to this request. That's why this is in green color, or else this will be in red color. Okay. Okay. Wish we had some more time, but this is the simple end-to-end scenario of this. I'll stop. Just give me a moment, guys. 1 second. Okay, I'll stop sharing, and I'm going to give the control to Abhishek. And before that, we saw certain aspects, and as a part of this webinar, 1 second, guys. We'll quickly discuss about, we saw a small demo session about a simple request as well as an end-to-end scenario. And, this is a simple end-to-end scenario. We have a complete course on performance testing. There are some of our performance testing students also in the mix of you guys. And, I'm so happy for that also. And we take, just for introduction, for these concepts, we take so much in detail. We go as deep as we can. We understand it in a deeper sense. So how our performance testing course is going to be. This is we'll first see how the foundations of performance testing, not JMeter, but performance testing itself. We'll understand the performance testing, the foundation of it. We'll have hands-on learning, we'll have assignments, and we'll have assessments. Assessments means exams, weekly or bi-weekly. And here, due to the time constraints, I have muted you guys. I apologize for that. And in our sessions, we won't have that. So you can chime in anytime and you can ask your doubt. And it'll be a lively session. And then we'll cover tools along with JMeter. We'll cover tools like GitHub, Jenkins, Grafana. We'll see CI/CD integration also for performance testing. Okay, that will also be covered in the course. And obviously, we'll see real life projects, real world projects, and real world demo projects also to practice what we learned in our performance testing course. Okay. That's it, guys. And before we go to the QA session, I have to quickly give the control to Abhishek.
Hey Raja, thanks. So, guys, I hope all of you really like the webinar, right? So we have some good offers, especially for the first week of December, right? So if I cover about our performance testing batch, so that is expected to be started in the upcoming week, that is 5th of December. It's an evening batch. However, we run multiple batches in a month, right? We will have morning batches also, we will have evening batches also. So obviously, you can book basis your preference, right? Uh, Coming to the pricing, right? So if you see, the pricing is 10,999, uh, but we have reduced the pricing to, so we, okay, sorry, yeah. So we reduced it to 7,499, and now for this webinar, right? So those who are coming through this webinar, for them it is only 4,499 rupees, right? So it's almost 50-60% of discount on the pricing, correct? And this will be available only until the first week of December, correct? Yeah. Along with that, we also have refer and earn policy. So let's say if you have any of your friends, colleagues who also want to learn performance testing, so on top of the pricing discounts that we are running, you would also be eligible for the referral discount, right? And it's a cashback. So either, I mean, after booking, this discounts can be passed on to you as a cash reward. Okay. Then along with performance testing, we also, as I mentioned, right, during the start of the webinar itself, that we also offer a lot many other courses. So let's say if some of you are interested to learn automation and performance together, right? So for that also we have a bundle package, and our automation testing batch is starting from 2nd of December, another 2 days of time. So the complete package of automation testing and performance testing, the actual price is around 32,999, but since those who are coming through where this webinar, for them it will be only 19,999. So approximately there's a discount of 13,000 rupees. On top of that, there will be a referral bonus of 1,000 rupees, right? So again, if any of your friends, colleague who also want to learn along with you, you can also refer them and earn the 1,000 rupees of referral discount. Any questions? If anyone has any questions specifically to offer, they can ask. I will also be sharing the link from where you can directly book these courses, correct? So that also I'll be sharing in the chat box. So can all of you see the chat? There are two forms that I have shared. One, uh, so the sale pricing 4,499 is already live on the website. You can go on the website and directly book from there. So first link is for that. The second link is for the participation certificate, right? So please fill that form. So basis those who are filling the form, they will also be getting the participation certificate mostly by Monday. And if you are interested in any other courses also, you can fill those details in the same form. The team will reach out to you and help you with the enrollment process. So I guess we can any questions on the pricing discounts, courses. If anyone has any questions, they can probably ask here. I think Nava Balu has asked automation plus performance. Yeah, so automation plus performance, you can go to the form. In the form, the top of the form itself, we have given the booking link. You can book from there. Okay. Allow for a mute. Okay, 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, fine. I have allowed participants to unmute. Yeah.
So may you know how long the duration for the automation and the performance testing and
So, see, automation course will take roughly around 4 months of time, right? So, daily
Okay.
Monday to Friday, 1 hour, the batch would be there.
Mm.
And if you do simultaneously, let's say in morning batch, if you're doing automation, in evening batch, if you're doing performance, or vice versa, right? Probably, so performance testing goes for 45 days. Your automation testing goes for roughly 4 months. So if you do the both the courses simultaneously, 4 months is the maximum tenure, right? Let's say if you want to first learn automation, then you want to go for performance, then it will take, let's say, 5 to 5.5 months of time, right?
Okay, got it. So the class is going to every week or weekly? How many days?
It's all 5 days a week, Monday to Friday,
Right.
daily class. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Uh,
Sir,
Need permission to fill the form.
yeah, PRC this
Able to
side.
view.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, please tell me. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I'm already a student of Selenium
Okay.
uh, for batch 47. If I want to continue here, okay, once again. Okay, then I have to pay only 4,700 that you mentioned. Is it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you are existing student, whatever the pricing that is already there, right? What are the offer pricing? You can book only in that. There's no problem.
And will I get the same thing like the recordings also for 1
Yes, yes.
year and all
So
these things?
there's no change in terms of whatever the services or the offerings, right? It's just that the pricing varies, nothing else. Okay. So
So the
even before,
recording will be the way we get
yes, yes,
there,
yes.
all the
Yeah.
facilities
So
and
all
all.
the recordings, assessments, everything will be given in the applications, right? Both in mobile and as well as in desktop. So no
That's
questions on that. Yeah,
fantastic. All right, all right, all right.
yeah.
Is it one-time payment or is there is anything I can pay installment?
See, we have installment options through payment partners, right? That is through
Okay.
credit card or debit card. So you can go, you
Okay.
can choose the tenure, right, and you can make the payment.
Okay. No, I cannot pay by what I say through because I'm here. I'm here USA. I don't know how it will work for India. So that's why I'm asking. So I can pay through the bank only.
हाँ ठीक है, no problem. So no worries, you can drop in your contact details, right? And
Okay.
we will take care. We'll guide you. Don't worry. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Uh, if there are no
Hi, Abhishek.
questions, we'll move to the Q&A then.
Hi, Abhishek. I have a doubt. There.
Adarsh.
Yeah, so are we able to buy the recorded session of the entire course? This is possible.
Yeah, so if somebody wants to purchase the recordings of the course, so that will be of the previous batches, right? But frankly speaking, the kind of discounts that we're offering, right, you will find it like a bit costly. Okay. So anyways, we are running like heavy offers. It's almost 50-60% discount. So even if you go to purchase the recordings of the classes, you will find it bit costly. So I would suggest you better go for the live classes itself. However, I mean, obviously, if you want to, you can definitely inquire.
Okay. So
Yeah.
because currently I'm going to one of the automation course, so I couldn't do both of them simultaneously. If I
Hmm.
have the recorded session, I can.
Yeah. Okay, no worries, no worries. You can definitely get in touch with our team, right? Ikta, if you can share the WhatsApp number, or maybe anyone from the sales team, if you can share the API WhatsApp number, the link, probably people can also reach out.
Yeah,
Anyone?
but the form is asking permission, Abhishek. Students are not able to access the form. Kindly look the chat.
1 minute. Okay, let me look into it. Anyone have any other questions, or
Yeah,
should we move to the Q&A session?
hi Abhishek. Earlier there was one offer like if we join performance testing course, so we will get free manual testing and ISTQB recording. So what exactly was that?
Okay, so see, offers and discounts, right, vary from time to time. But
Hmm.
coming to the specific offer that you are mentioning, that was for the automation testing course. It was never part of the performance testing course. So that offer is also available right now. That also that offer actually it's already live. So if you enroll for the automation testing course, you will definitely get access to the manual and also the ISTKB course.
I'm already existing student of automation batch 48.
Okay, you can discuss separately. I think this is offer running for the last 2-3 weeks, I guess. So you can
Mm,
discuss with the team.
okay, fine.
Yeah. Anyone else? Should we go? Raja is, I think, waiting for the technical questions.
I'm asking performance testing duration. Only we will take performance testing. What is the duration?
Yeah, so it would be for 40 to 45 days, right? Monday to Friday, daily 1 hour of class would be there.
Timing?
Timing, the current batch timing that we have proposed is just a minute.
8:30 to
Yeah,
9:30 p.m.
it's 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. However, as I said, every month we have like multiple batches running, right? So the timing that I have shared, 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. is the like the recent batch that is to be started, correct? But every month we will have multiple evening batches also, multiple morning batches also. So you can definitely talk to team, whatever is your preference, whatever is your comfort, whatever suits you, accordingly you can do enrollments. Anyone else?
Hi, Abhishek. I have a question. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, currently I'm part of 46 automation batch 46. So like once I complete the course, can I join for this performance testing? Like so that time what will be the like price details for this course?
So you can book now because the offer is valid only until the first week of December. However, whenever your automation course is done, you can definitely enroll.
Okay, at the same price, right? For the same price.
You'll have to do the enrollments now, but
Okay, now. Okay.
yeah, correct. And
Okay.
yeah. Anything on pricing, discounts, offers? Anyone? Okay, cool. I think Raja, a couple of the questions, right, coming to the like people who had asked is around is the course uh can non-technical people do this course, right? Or some of them also asked like is there any kind of coding involved, right? So I think some of people have similar kind of questions, so probably you can answer that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Raja, first answer the question, who is going to be the instructor of this course?
Oh, for performance testing,
Yes,
who do you
someone
think?
is asking.
Who do you guys think?
Someone.
Yeah, it'll be me. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you. That's a very good question. Oh, I think you might have mixed with the automation question. Manish will be taking automation, and hi, Manish. Manish will be taking automation, and
Oh, that's good. Hi, Manish. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thank
Do you remember me?
you. Who is
Nava.
talking? Nava. I don't remember.
No, last 2-3 years ago, I took the class from you for the manual testing.
Okay. Which batch?
One-on-one. One-on-one.
101. Okay. That's good.
Okay. It is like having a celebrity in an audio launch function or thank you, Manish. Thank you for joining. Okay, fine. Okay, guys. We'll move on to our Q&A session. I hope you have a lot of questions, and I'm expecting a lot of questions too. And now it's your time. Please ask one by one. Raise up your hand and then please ask. Okay, before I have to answer, just 1 minute. I'll answer the few questions in the chat first. Okay.
So, guys, that form issue that we were experiencing, it is resolved. So you can now fill the form. Those who are interested, right, for those participation certificates and interested to enroll in other courses, they can please fill the form. Okay. I'll be sharing the link again in the chat.
Okay, I'm not able to see many questions, but I'll say one of the few questions, popular question is, do we need coding for it? JMeter is a pure Java application. There are some scripting languages called as Bean Shell, Groovy. We can also use JavaScript to write to write custom test scripts. We can do that. But for this context of this course, we have designed in such a way that there's no coding involved. If you see our previous students, more than 60% are from manual testing background. So they choose this course because there are a lot of not many coding involved. There's no coding involved actually. And if you are into automation testing, you'll find this a bit familiar because okay, you'll find this familiar because JMeter is a pure Java application, and you'll see a lot of Java functions here, Java application of Java functions and methods here. So if you don't have any scripting knowledge, that's fine, not an issue. And what was the other question, guys? See, it's a good question. Is it similar to API? And people use JMeter also for API testing. JMeter is a wonderful tool for API testing. It's a wonderful tool, and we use JMeter for performance testing. If you are into API testing, you'll also find this very interesting because, as I told you, it's a dance between request and response. Okay, fine, guys. And Vishal, please ask your question.
Yeah, Rajaram, thank you for this session. Actually, I can understand now that it's a very good skill for the add-on skill for automation tester. But I feel that it is a completely different job role. So, like, does it will create a conflict while applying for a job? Because currently I'm a batch of 46 batch student, and after like completing my batch after 20 days, let's say, I'm only focusing on applying for automation job role. So, like, I'm moving from functional to non-functional. So, does it will create conflict while applying job?
Okay. It's a good question, Vishal. I had a student. She applied as she's working in UK now. She's from there only, and she applied a job for a manual testing job role, and she got a job. After getting the job, the company requested that, do you know performance testing? Can you learn performance testing? And they sponsored her to be studied. They sponsored her education, okay, for learning performance testing. So performance testing is a sought out field. If you are applying for an automation job or a manual testing job, it's a wonderful skill to have. It's a wonderful tool to know for yourself. It's a wonderful tool to have in your tool bag. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that it will definitely reinforce your concepts on whatever the testing concepts you know. If you just if you're taking up the course after the end of the session, if you can if you want to in retrospect, if you think my words, this particular set of words, it'll be it might come true. It'll definitely reinforce your concepts. You'll have additional tools in your tool set. When it comes to automation role, they might not ask for performance testers, but it'll definitely enhance you.
Okay, so sometimes the one position will have both requirement, right? Automation plus.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thank you for this information.
Yes, sure. And Ankita, please.
Yeah, hi Raja. Sorry, I unable to open my camera because I'm not in the right place.
Oh, understood.
So my question is like, can we perform performance testing without tool?
Without tool in the sense, are you asking in cloud, or I'm not able to understand the question?
Like when we do manual testing, we can do manually. Can we perform performance testing without any tool?
No, Ankita. What we can do is we can get the request and get the request, what we have sent, what the response we have received. If you see in our session, we went to the inspect console, we saw how request and response is being there. We can see the request and response, but we cannot simulate thousands of users hitting a particular server without any tool. We need a tool. We need a specific.
Correct. But suppose if any single user can we perform, in a single user, can we do like is it possible without tool? Can we, with the help of a tool, we can simulate 100 or 50,000 users, or any numbers we want.
Yes.
But suppose if I want to do with the help of only single user, so is it possible without any tool? Can we perform?
That is what functional testing is, Ankita.
Okay.
We have functional testing, and we have something called as network sniffing tools. By network sniffing tools, we can analyze the request, we can analyze the response. But where performance testing comes into picture is for 10 requests, we can identify what is the average response they are getting, how the server is behaving. For a single request, it means like we can get data and it does not amount to anything. For single request, we can use browser, which is nothing but functional testing. Performance testing comes when we have to simulate hundreds and thousands and lakhs of users using single machine or a single server. Got it?
Okay, so basically we check server, right, in a performance testing.
Obviously, we have two types of metrics: client-side metrics and server-side metrics. In server-side metrics, we see how server performs. We have something called as client-side metrics, where we check how the machine we are sending the request performs. So that is the two sides of the coin.
So like functional testing, we are checking the features, right?
Yes.
So in a non-functional testing, we are checking the server side things like database thing. Am I correct?
That is a part.
Uh-huh.
As you said, in functional testing, you are checking if if you are going to facebook.com, you check if the Facebook logo is coming correctly. That is correctness. But performance testing, we are not worried about correctness, because we are going to work upon the functional testers, which means functional testers have done the testing. They have given a test. They have evaluated the software. They have, the testing has. The build has completed the entry and exit criteria. Finally, it comes to the non-functional testing. After functional testing, we simulate the same request for thousands of users. Let's say in functional testing, you are trying to log in. If it is successful, the build comes to the performance testing, and the performance testers do the same login with multiple users, hundreds and thousands of times. Got it? Understood?
Yeah. And my second question is like in JMeter, there is a file extension like .jmx. So in
Yes.
every tool, there is a separate file extension.
True, that is true. Every tool has their own set of extension, but the wonderful thing about JMX is every tool, in whatever performance testing you do, you can export the test script written in any other tool to JMeter's file, and you can import the .jmx file to any other performance testing tool. So because JMeter it's an open source tool, lot of other performance, the competitors also accept, they recognize the power of JMeter, the usage of JMeter, because organization, they can use multiple tools. JMeter for regular performance testing, and they'll use BlazeMeter for cloud testing. Cloud testing is, how can I simulate hundreds of users? Let's say 10 users are in Uganda, 10 users are in Syria, 10 users are in California, 10 users are in Sri Lanka. We can simulate this using cloud testing. For that, we need BlazeMeter. So JMeter is there. Some additional facilities will go for other tools. You understand? Got it?
Yeah. And one more question, like in performance testing, which kind of issues we found? Like, can you tell me some 2-3 issues like when we do performance testing?
Okay. When functional testing, we test with expected behavior, right? If you are trying, we have to. This is expected, and is the application behaving as expected? In performance testing, we have metrics, which means, let's say I'm sending 100 requests. Out of the 100 requests, is 95 requests taking less than 2 seconds to respond? Which means, is it taking less than 2 seconds to bring the appropriate response for the request I have sent? In JMeter, we have something called as benchmarks, or in performance testing, we have something called as benchmarks. Benchmarks are nothing but metrics, some data, the response time, which means how long did it take for the request to be sent and response to be received. Okay, how long it took for the response to be received. And we can also check what is the size of the response. And let's say, we have something called as assertion in JMeter also. Using that assertion, we can apply assertion, and we can make our test case pass or fail depending upon the benchmarks or expected behavior. Yeah, please.
Yeah, my last question is like, you told one term like recording controller, right?
Yes.
So in recording controller, we got the recording like how? Like, is it graphical or what exactly?
We have this type of tools are called as network sniffing tools. It sniffs, it captures the traffic. there's a tool called as Fiddler. We have something called as Inspect Console. In a browser, you right click and go to Inspect. We have Inspect Console. You go to Network tab. That is nothing but a recording controller. Sorry, not recording controller. It's a recording tool.
Okay.
And JMeter has its own recording tool. We have something called as BlazeMeter is another performance testing tool. In our course, we'll also be seeing a part of BlazeMeter, a BlazeMeter plugin that is also a network sniffing tool. It captures the traffic between two parties, which are client and server. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank
Honestly.
you.
Yeah, go on, Adarsh, please.
Hi, Raja.
Yeah, hi.
Thanks for the webinar. I'm able to get a bit understanding about the performance testing, how it works, everything.
Yeah, welcome.
And I have a doubt that if I am planning to switch for the performance testing,
Yes.
and if I are using the JMeter tool, we have a
Yes.
number of options like performing listeners, assess, and we can perform test and everything.
Yes.
If I am going to apply for the performance testing role, do I
Yes.
need to learn shell scripting as well? Is it required?
Okay. Shell scripting, when it comes to DevOps, you have to know Bash or any kind of shell scripting. For performance testing, even though people learn scripting, but if you are going for a couple of years of experience, or with 1 year of experience, or if you are starting out as a performance tester, scripting would not be expected out of you. Okay, but scripting is a good thing to know. It's wonderful. It's not part of our course. Maybe in future we can have it, but without scripting itself, we'll try to solve most of our scenarios. Okay, we'll try to approach all our scenarios without scripting itself as a part of this course. Very good question. Thank you.
And I also gone through some of the job description regarding the performance testing, and some of them are we have the JMeter tool, which is open source, and we have a number of options available. But
Yes.
some of the companies were preferring for some of the applications like HP LoadRunner,
Yes.
and going to some other. Why they are going to the applications?
It is like JMeter is a wonderful tool, but there are certain options which JMeter does not have, like cloud capabilities. JMeter does not have cloud capabilities. When the enterprise is large, just by using the default JMeter application, it's hard to work on performance testing. We have to modify the JMeter when it's an enterprise application or it's a huge application. So for that, people use JMeter in part and they'll opt for some other tools. Like we have something called as BlazeMeter, as I said a few minutes ago. By BlazeMeter, we can simulate requests coming from different parts of the world. We have our Gatling, we have Locust. Using Gatling and Locust, CI/CD is very, very wonderful. And compared to JMeter, every tool comes with pros and cons, right? And in the same way, JMeter has some cons, but the pros outweigh its cons. It's an open source tool. Why wouldn't you use it? That is the first question. It's an open source tool, but for other performance testing, you have to pay for users. If you get a chance, guys, go to other performance testing tools, and if you see the pricing, you have to pay per user. You have to pay per group of users. But if you see that in JMeter, within 33 seconds, we have sent 6,000 requests. Can you see see how beautiful this is? You got your question answered, Adarsh?
Yeah, understood.
Thank you.
And thanks for clarifying my doubts, and stay safe during this threat time.
Yeah, thank you. And I had this is like an amazing, until I told you 635, 640, there was no power. And if something is to happen, it should happen. Okay. Thank you, Adarsh. And go on, Amit, please.
Hi. Can we do a mobile application testing by using performance JMeter tool?
Yes, mobile application. We cannot directly do mobile application testing. What we can do is we can record the transactions happening through mobile. In mobile, in desktop, whatever it is, we are sending some requests and we're getting a response. So as a part of our course, we'll not go deep into mobile testing, but we have a section where we understand how to capture the traffic which is happening in the mobile.
How to connect to JMeter in mobile? How to connect with?
Yeah, exactly. Both the mobile and system should be connected in a single Wi-Fi, and we can capture the traffic, the request we are sending from the mobile, and the response we are getting from the server to the mobile. We can capture it using JMeter.
Okay.
Any other question, guys?
Hi, Rajan.
Yeah. Who is this?
This Shiva.
Hi.
Thank you for participating here.
Yeah, sure.
My doubt is actually, can you provide any real-time projects after this complete this course?
Okay. I mean, as a part of our performance testing course, we have 5 projects. Okay, and those 5 projects are, we have 2 mini projects and 3 main projects. I have created the projects in such a way that it is industry standard. Okay. For example, we have a lot of benchmarks, we have a lot of scenarios, some detailed instructions. Since we are learning it for the first time, I have given some descriptive procedures, how to create a test plan, how to create for every project, what is required out of a test, what are the deliverables. The same way, we have 5 projects, and those 5 projects, it will really make you strong. It will make you familiar with the performance testing by applying the concepts we have learned.
Okay, Rajan. And can you provide any certification like after this
Yeah,
course?
definitely. After our performance testing course, we are providing an ISO recognized certification. I don't know how many organizations are providing this kind of certifications, but it's a wonderful time to learn. And to be honest, I have never seen the performance testing course with this discount.
Yeah.
It's an year-end sale, and that's a wonderful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm the part of the batch automation test. I'm a Selenium Java, so 49th batch actually recently I joined. So I would like to I'm planning to joining this course also as well.
Okay.
So and one more thing, Razaran, actually I have 5 years experience in the IT industry. So right now I'm working as a manual tester.
Yes.
So how I can learn? I mean, how I can like expect like this? I mean, of course I'm learning automation, Selenium, and of course even after this course also I joined this. Then
Yes.
how can I evaluate? Like how can I tell my experience to outside subject?
Okay. You want to put your performance testing as experience? Is that what you're trying, Shiva?
No. Yeah, I just want to. Of course, I just want to put in the experience in the resume. Like, but 5 years in the 5 years, what should?
Okay. Yeah, I understand. As I told you, performance testing is a completely different different ball game. It's a non-functional testing. You don't need to be an expert in automation to do performance testing. If you, as I told you, most of my students, they are from manual testing background, and so it'll be, if you ask me, do you need automation, all the sort of experience to get a job into performance testing? I don't think so. Okay, so you have your 5 years of experience in manual testing. That's very good. If you can find a position where you have performance testing job roles, and you can definitely approach that with your experience. You don't need any kinds of coding experience as well.
Okay, and one more thing. Actually, I'm a purely non-IT, like I mean, Shibli background, BTech.
Okay.
So can I like already you probably read scripted? We have learned some scripted language in this. If you want to
Bash.
learn.
Yeah. You can obviously learn. It's not that difficult,
Okay.
If you ask me, I have to put 50% of effort, and I humbly request you to put 50% of effort, right? Even if I put 90% of effort, if not you, I mean everyone, all of us, for any situation, if you don't practice, nothing stays with that case. It is like watching a YouTube video. It's like watching in Udemy course we offer at 400, 500 rupees. Why are we paying so much for this to learn? It is like, today I had a meeting with one of the student for regarding a doubt clarification. An example came in the way. What is the difference between watching how to do a workout in YouTube and how to work out, how to have a trainer beside us when we are working out in a gym? What do you think is the difference, guys? So
There is a lot of difference.
Yeah. And
thanks for clarifying.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I understood.
And I try to, I'll put all my effort to be in a position where whenever you ask a question, I try to, do whatever I can. Even if I'm not able to, I'll definitely get the answers from where it is available and definitely give you, as well as regarding assignments also. Because initially when we are starting up, we'll have a lot of flaws here and there. We'll have some models we might not able to approach it properly. So I'll definitely able to guide you throughout the course.
Do you have any weekend course Sunday for the performance? Because
Weekend course is difficult. All my weekend is the only breathing space I have. So we
Okay,
had
got it.
weekend batches. Actually, I
Mm.
had weekend batches for the performance testing as well as other courses, and it was a
Okay,
bit exhausting. So now I've stopped weekend batches.
got it, got it.
Yeah, hi Shruti, please go.
Hi, Azram. Thanks for the webinar. It was very nice.
Sure.
My question is currently I'm working as a manual tester.
Mhm.
So after completing this performance testing with this JMeter tool,
Okay.
my knowledge will be restricted to only JMeter, or I'll be in the position that if I get any other tool, like LoadRunner or some other
Mm-hmm.
tool, so I will be in that confidence to continue as a performance tester,
Okay.
or like again I have to do some workout or scripting or something.
Understood. That's a very good question, Shruti. So when we start our course, initially, before we touch JMeter, we spend at least 5 hours, which means 5 sessions, to understand the basic concepts of performance testing. A minimum of 5 hours. We have 25 to 30 or 30 plus or minus 2 hours in total for a session for a performance testing course. A minimum of five hours initially. Even in the middle, we'll spend few minutes here and there to understand the concepts. We'll spend for the basics of performance testing. The main reason is for the question Shruti asked. Even if you are to, this is just a tool. One day, if JMeter told that hereafter I'm not going to provide any free services, we are only going to provide paid services. For example, if you are a Reddit user, Reddit was free for API calls. Now Reddit is charging. So the people who are the apps which are developed based on Reddit, they are struggling. They have to find a different alternative. The same way, it might happen. It can happen. For that, we have to make sure that our performance testing knowledge, the basis is strong. Upon this base, we are building up a knowledge for JMeter. If you ask me, there are a lot of tools, Gatling, BlazeMeter. The learning curve wouldn't be so steep. I'm 100% sure of it. I'm 100% sure we'll definitely have a learning curve which if we switch to a different tool, but the learning curve will be way less steeper. You got it?
Yeah. Sorry if I missed some points in this webinar. What
Okay.
is the duration of this course, only performance testing?
Okay. We have it. We have planned it for 30 hours plus or minus 2 hours. So it will be approximately 1.5 month.
Daily
30
1 hour.
sessions. Yeah. Daily 1 hour.
Monday to Friday, daily 1 hour. Not
Monday to Friday, it will be for.
If any live session missed, we'll get the recording of that session, right?
Yeah. You'll definitely get the recording of the session. Every day, whatever we have discussed in our class, it will definitely be in our recorded session, and you have access to that for 1 year. And I know recorded sessions are there, but every time if someone does not come to class, I feel very disappointing. It feels like you are, whatever that the transaction is happening. There's a word called as synergy, guys. Synergy means 1 plus 1 is always 2, but can 1 plus 1 be 3? 1 plus 1 is equal to 3 will happen when synergy happens. The concept of synergy is what, when two people interact together, when two people ask questions, resolve doubts happens. So, I always encourage all my students to come to the live session whenever possible, by trying their utmost. Okay. And yeah, definitely live sessions will be, the video recordings will be will be assigned to your application, assigned to your username, your profile. Yeah, Abhishka, please ask.
Hi, Rajaraman.
Hi.
Actually, I have 6.5 years of experience
Okay.
in production support, not as a tester. But currently, I am doing automation course. Like in Manish class, I'm doing that. So I want to I want to move myself from production support to testing.
Okay.
So that is my question. Like I had 1 year of experience for working with a load runner and Dynatrace as well to health checkup for my applications. So I want to know if I want to go for this testing role, so how can I cope up? Like recently I am just completing my application, and my manager is asking me for searching for a job for another project. So I am asking them to give a Java project or any automation project or any performance testing project, as I have some experience. So how can I reach out to them, or how can I ask them, or else like after completing the course also, how can I go to them and ask them for a project like that? So I am very confused with all this.
Okay. There's a lot of things to unpack, and it's yeah, the thing is every organization is different, right? And every organizational setup and the configuration is different. How they are hiring their team, it's all different. If you have an option to go internally, to navigate internally with your automation skill set and experience in production support, I think it'll be wonderful. It'll be wonderful. And I don't know how the organizational setup is. You can probably look for the upcoming projects where automation is required, and that will be like a first step. And if you're good with your if you have good contact with your managers, you can ask them, is there any upcoming projects we are taking up, or is there any requirement for a specific project for that position? That can also be a good thing. Reaching out, networking is also a very good you might get better out of networking rather than because if you want to search internally.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
For that.
Any other question, guys? Okay, in chat, someone asked a question. Oh God. Okay. 1 second. What are all the tools we have covered? Okay, we'll cover JMeter, and along with JMeter, we'll see GitHub as well as Jenkins. In JMeter's perspective, in performance testing perspective, we'll see how to do CI/CD, which is continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. Both are different, but continuous delivery and deployment. And what we'll do is along with this, we will learn a tool called as Grafana. Grafana is like a server monitoring. It's a monitoring tool. For the previous batches, we have not taught Grafana. From the last batch, we have included it in our curriculum. Along with JMeter, GitHub, and Jenkins, Grafana is also taken. BlazeMeter is not taught, but a part of JMeter. Just a part of JMeter is BlazeMeter is not taught. A part of BlazeMeter is being taught, and yeah, that's it regarding the tools. I'm so glad that this 1.5 hour webinar has extended to 2 hours, and still we have 70 participants. So, thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate your willingness to learn. If you are stagnant, if it rains somewhere, and next morning the water will be somewhat clean, what will happen if there's no sunshine? If there's little sunshine, the stagnant water will become rusty. It will become moldy. All sort of infections happen. We should never be stagnant water, guys. We should keep on upskilling ourselves. We should keep on moving to places. Okay. When you get comfortable, that's when all sorts of negativity comes into play. So I'm very glad that you all have put a step forward to learn new stuff. Some functional testers, non-functional testing might be new to you. When I say that there are more than 100 non-functional tests, I know I can imagine your faces. What is he talking about? So it's a wonderful world, and performance testing is beautiful. I hope you all get the most out of it from our course. So if you don't have any other questions, yeah, thank you so much, Anita. And if you don't have any other questions,
One more doubt question.
Yes. Sir.
Can anyone from non-IT background, any normal student from degree student, from degree, so can learn this course, and can anyone learn this course, or what? What are the how their
Siva, yeah. I mean, for the first 5 classes, we'll be covering the basics of performance testing from the relation between client and server. If you are into testing, you might be able to get a new perspective, because because we do performance testing after the functional testing. So you'll get a new perspective. If you are a fresher, you'll still be able to see, you have to learn manual testing. You have to learn the principles. You have to learn how people are doing manual testing, because we are working upon that. We are not going to utilize that because they are the foundation. They have validated that the application is correct. That's why we are able to do performance testing. So you can learn performance testing without learning the manual and automation. But my suggestion is you have to learn it parallelly. So get the entire scope to see all the aspects front and before.
Yeah, my friends is it. That's why I'm asking you. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, Raja, I think we can wrap it up now.
Okay, guys.
Guys, thank you everyone for joining the session. This was really engaging, right? All of you were very interactive, asked all your questions. I think we have tried to cover most of the questions that you people have asked, right? Even if, let's say, some of you have some queries, right, related to enrollments, any related to the course details, the modules, the topics that are going to be covered, right? Obviously, you can go and check our website. All the details are there. If not, you can always reach out to the team, right? So even in the WhatsApp group, I have shared, there's an WhatsApp link, right? I have shared. So you can always reach out to the team. Team will definitely guide you. And other than that, you can also reach out to our support desk as well. So our toll-free number and the customer support email ID is also available on our website. So through there also you can reach out. Those who have filled the form, right, those who have showed the interest for the enrollments, we will definitely reach out to you. We'll try to reach out to maybe tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, definitely Monday. Okay. So, and I have shared these forms in the WhatsApp group as well. So in case some of you have missed those forms from the chat box, then obviously you can pick it up from the WhatsApp group. Okay. Cool. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone, for joining the session.
Thank you so much. Abhishek, like already I told you, can you send me the detail? Because I'm here, I'm from USA. I have to send the money through the dollar. Someone has sent to me the link, but it's asking the rupees. I cannot send through these links. So can you give me the details, any bank details or any personal details to send the payment, and also, yeah.
ठीक है. I'll ask somebody to send. I saw your message. We got your message. So I'll get it sent.
And also the installment options, how many payment I can do, both the automation and performance test.
अच्छा ठीक है. The number that we have shared, is it your WhatsApp number?
WhatsApp number, that is my WhatsApp number. Someone reached me, but they given some kind of link, but I tried that link, but it's asking the rupees. It won't work for me.
Through card?
No, I don't have anything. So I have to send through my bank account only. I use only Western Union website. So I can send to the person. I cannot send to the any companies, anything like. Yeah, sure.
I'll get it. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah, bye. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Raja.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night ahead and good day too, if you're from a different part of the world.
Thank you. Same to you.